No. All right, guys, after a delay, after some technical difficulties, we are here. We are live. The momentous occasion is here. We're joined today by Luke Schwartz, a.k.a. Fullflush, legend in the poker world, the man, the myth himself. Luke, what's going on, man? Welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Not much, man. Standard Friday night. What about you?
It's like 5 p.m. here right now, and this is a pretty standard Friday night, doing something on the computer. You're like a married man now. You're a family man. You have kids. You have a wife. So is life kind of boring for you right now?
No, the gambling keeps the sweat going.
You've been playing a lot recently, or what? I think I've seen some hands posted in the high stakes thread. You back on the grind, or what's been your poker play as of recently?
I'm on a little 1 week break since Wookoop. I had a bit of a miserable Wookoop, so I was playing that for 3 weeks most days, and cash games and tournaments. Yeah, and the last Sunday I did like 40 or 50k just on pieces, and the 10k and the 5k and everything. So I've taken a little break.
Did you play also much of the cash games? I think you're playing mixed games now. I think I think that's what I read, right?
Yeah. No, I was playing. There was decent action. Chuffy's come back online, and so whenever he comes, like a herd of fucking Americans come and all room me up in Canada for a few weeks to try and hunt him. But he's been winning, so good for him. And yeah, so there's been decent. But it's only at 100, 200, but yeah, it's still decent stakes.
Yeah, you're not. So you don't play any of the big bet games anymore. So you don't play PLO, or you don't play No Limit.
I still play PLO. I play PLO heads up and PLO and six max when I'm bored or something. But yeah, I don't play No Limit anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of dream machines out there now, Luke. Everyone's got the changing HUDs and the notes and all the crazy shit out there right now.
Yeah, it seems like a difficult game to beat now.
Yeah.
But if you're playing your best, and maybe like if Isildur was playing his best, even he'll never use a HUD. If he was playing his best and was fully rolled and etc., he might still be the best at No Limit. But I don't know.
Interesting. So you think if Isildur was playing with a HUD and playing his best, you think he could still beat No Limit?
No, I think he never would play with a HUD. But I'm saying if he was playing his best game like he was back in 2009, had all the confidence in No Limit, and didn't think that everyone was better than him, he'd probably still be able to definitely beat it. Sorry, let me turn off my TV.
Yeah, no problem. Go ahead. All right, guys. If you're watching on Twitch, the audio is probably going to be better on YouTube. So if you want to go to YouTube, the link's in the description below. Guys on YouTube and Twitch, thank you for tuning in live. We're joined today by Luke Schwartz, a.k.a. Fullflush. We'll back. So if you were going to describe yourself to people, what would you say? Like, how would you describe yourself? Because you've been around poker for a very long time, but it feels like you took a couple-year break in between all the television hands and stuff like that, and then went through a little lull, and then you came back and started playing a bunch more online.
I haven't really ever taken a break, man. I probably played literally every day for the last 10 years. Pretty sad, but yeah, I might have taken a break from higher stakes, but yeah, still in action, still grinding away.
You haven't. So, I mean, I feel like I've played every day for the past 8 or 9 years too, but I feel like I always think that, but there's always like a month break in between. I mean,
No, maybe not every day. I mean, I played most days for the last 10 years.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I mean, to think about almost every day for 10 years.
Sometimes I'll take holiday, but most of them are poker holidays, so.
It's like you go away from the kids for a couple days, and then you're still playing on your computer. You know what I mean? You never actually get a full holiday. It's pretty crazy how it works.
Yeah.
What's your life like at home now? So you have 2 kids. Do you still get to gamble the weird hours, or do you try to stay on like a regular sort of schedule? Like what's your routine like if you have one?
I don't have much of a routine. I'm like have to do school runs someday and stuff like that. So and I'm betting sports as well. So it's pretty random. I might go to bed at 12 o'clock or maybe 5 in the morning, or I might stay up not all night, but yeah, sometimes I'll sleep a bit in the day. So there's not much of a routine still. So that's something I've got to work on probably.
Yeah, I think I think we always try to work on a routine and get better at our routine. But how does that work with the family? So how does everything coincide together?
Well, I won't play. I mean, I'll do the stuff in the day with family, after school stuff, and then if everyone's in bed and that, I'll start gambling at 10 o'clock, something like that. Try my luck for a few hours. And sometimes I'll go play a live game, like in the daytime, maybe once a week or something like that.
So do you think that the situation you're in now is the most plus EV you could be in for poker? Or do you feel like if you didn't have a wife or didn't have kids, that it would actually be much better off for you in terms of poker success or poker results?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be able to work a lot more on my game. I'd be able to play a lot more. I'd be able to do a lot more, but obviously I wouldn't want that anyway. Poker's too consuming as it is, and it's unless you're really at the top of the game and you're just living a stress-free life, it's you could say it's a waste of life, just playing every day, stressing out, etc., etc.
No, I can definitely. I mean, even if I don't think anyone doesn't have stress. Even you got to think about guys like a Ben 86 or Sauce. I'm sure they still have these. I mean, anytime you lose a couple $100,000, it's
but with them, they've probably got such big roles already, and when they're playing these big stakes, they might be pieced out, or I don't think they're just like. Especially those two, they're never going to be losing like a third of their role or a quarter of their role in a day. I doubt it. Maybe I'm wrong, but those two don't seem like the types to have that many stresses from poker.
Well, we're gonna have Ben 86 back on the podcast on Monday, so I'm gonna ask him if he's ever lost a third of his role in a session. Because how many times have you lost a third of your role in a session, or in a day rather?
Well, like. Of my cash roll, that might happen quite often, or not okay. All life roll stuff that I have and own. But yeah, I've probably lost my cash roll a bunch of times. Lost the whole cash roll in a day sometimes.
I think I've lost a third of my roll probably 125 times in my life. When I was younger, I was completely irresponsible. And do you feel like as you've gotten older, you're a little bit more responsible? Obviously, your situation changes, so you kind of have to be in a way.
I mean, I don't like when I'm on tilt. I don't just jump into a higher game or something like that these days. But if there is a big game that I'm in already and it's a high stakes game and I'm losing and it's like a big fish or whatever, I'll go till the end. And if I have to go broke, I have to go broke. But I won't just purposely tilt off. I won't just be like, all right, that game's over. I need to find a way to get out of it. You go play Ben at 50, 100 PLO, which I might have done back in the day several times.
Well, I guess kind of back in the day, I don't know if you agree with this, that it was almost like the better players were making some more mistakes, so you had a sort of better chance against them. Whereas now, I think a lot of the better players aren't making as many mistakes. Therefore, your ability to potentially, chase losses or win against them is just decreased.
Tougher, yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, guys in chat, if you guys have any questions or comments for Luke, let us know. I know we got a lot of Englishmen out there. You're an Englishman, right? I want to make sure I understand, because like I've been watching a video on how exactly UK and Ireland and all these things work together. So I'm not sure if everyone over there is an Englishman or is it just people in England? I guess.
Yeah. You Americans don't really understand the differences between Europe, England. Europe's one country, right? He's a Euro. Is he a Euro?
No. Europe is a continent, Poppy.
It's a continent.
No, wait, it's not. It's a country. No, wait. Oh my God, I'm getting fucked with here. No, it's a country. Europe, a country.
Europe's a country. That's right?
No, it's not a country. I'm kidding. What the fuck? Hold on a goddamn minute. Now I sound like a fucking idiot. What the fuck?
You can't Google it. You've already been. It's already
man. God damn it. They're never gonna let me forget about this for the rest of my entire life. It's not a country, for fuck's sakes. The countries are in Europe. I know. I feel like a fucking moron right now. All right, tell people what Europe is.
Europe's a continent with lots of different countries, and then in Great Britain you've got England, Ireland, Wales, and Scotland. I live in the capital of England, which is London. It's a good city.
Okay, I feel like I said continent first, and then I started second guessing myself, and I was like, I know it's not a country.
You haven't been out of America. It's a bit scary, isn't it?
Well, I was just in Germany for a while, and
oh, you what?
Yeah, I spent a bunch of time over in Europe.
Oh, well done.
Europe is do you go to Ibiza ever? Did you go to Ibiza a lot when you were younger?
Yeah, but I used to go to like Napa, Ibiza, yeah, in like early 20s and stuff.
That's kind of like the party place to go to if you're and live in London, right?
A couple of my friends still go there, but I haven't been there in a few years.
What's the what do you have a best story from Ibiza? A best experience?
Can't really think of it. Just mad parties there, really, all night raves.
I think when I was there, I met a girl from Australia, and I started traveling Europe with her together, and then I moved to Australia to date her. So, and it didn't. I don't know if it worked out very well because I think my advice for a lot of people that haven't been to Ibiza is do not meet a woman, fall in love with her there, and then move to the country she lives in, because I just don't see that working out very well for you guys. So.
Is that where you live now? Are you in Chicago?
No, I'm in Chicago right now. Yeah, that was a couple, maybe like 2 years ago now. I think I got back from there. Beat down, broken man, lost most of my money at high stakes PLO. And
you used to play. What was your name?
Joe Ingram won.
Yeah, you used to play. Are you the guy that did the prop bet?
Which one? I've done a couple. Yeah.
You had to win 100 buy-ins at 510.
No, that was Yarny. That was crazy, Yarny. No, Yarny. That was Yarny. He's also from England as well.
Tables or something. You did some. I can't remember.
Yeah, I played 450,000 hands in a month of PLO. I got Supernova Elite in like 2.5 months.
Wow, shit.
Yeah, that was the prop bet I did back in the day. Now, when I don't know if I still have that in me. Do you play a lot of tables, or do you only play a couple tables when you play?
It's kind of difficult to play more than like a couple of tables of mixed games because the game's is constantly changing. You got to be like looking out to see other people's cards, and then they're folded, in the stud rounds. You've only got like 10-15 seconds to see their cards and then remember what they had. So it's kind of tough to play more than 1 or 2 tables.
How useful is a HUD in those games? Is there anything that is there something that sort of automates that task that'll keep track of what cards were down and got folded by other players, or is that sort of nothing like that really exists right now?
You would think that a man like myself who plays professionally would know the answer to that question or would use a HUD, but I don't. But that is something that would be useful if I had a track that would show the folded cards.
Yeah, I would imagine there's like some software that probably displays the cards right at the top of the screen for you, and you kind of like, oh, okay, like those cards are out. That way, I mean, obviously paying attention sounds easy in theory, but I'm sure a lot of people just can't be bothered with paying attention. They need software. Really used HUD.
Like some people have showed me, Jungle Man's tried to show me. It's not really for me. I was always, back when I was winning like big money back in the day, I was always sort of more of a field player. I might not have even been technically that good, but I sort of just went. I mean, I was technically good, obviously, but my board texture reads are a lot better now than they were back then. And back then, I just sort of went on my game flow and stuff like that. So I never really used HUDs. And now mixed games, I don't think it would be that useful for it. There's only 6 hands of no limit, then 6 hands of PLO, and then the rest is limit games. So maybe deuce to 7 would help a bit, but it's pretty. I think it's quite clear what's going on, but especially in limit games, I don't think you've never got like a decision like you do in a PLO or no limit game where you're getting potted all in on the river and you've got to think, how often does this guy do this? How often is he bluffing there? Normally it's in a limit game, he's bet 1 bet. You've got 2 pair, cycle it off, it just works like that.
Mm-hmm. So I guess you said you're not used to using a HUD, but do you think at some point in time it sort of becomes the natural evolution of your poker game? Is that, I mean, you might not be used to using a HUD, but it could be beneficial to potentially look into or add on to your game just because you might be leaving money on the table?
I might be, but I think I'm prepared to do that and not use the HUD, not work it out and not have another stress, another thing to think about and learn, so.
That's funny because there was a thread on 2+2 today that talked about PokerStars, the new rules. They changed these, like what No Caddy does is it makes the HUD change and it adds in these badges and stuff like that. So they took away that ability, and I posted in the thread like, yeah, people always ask about learning. Like learning the HUD is like learning a new fucking poker game. It's just there's so much that goes into it. It's pretty crazy to actually, if people knew what kind of HUDs, I don't know if a lot of people know, but there are some HUDs out there that do some crazy shit. that show all these tendencies that aren't in the original. They're not in the Hold'em Manager default setup. Let's put it like that. So it's pretty wild out there in terms of HUDs.
Yeah, if I played more big bet, then I would maybe. But for now, there's still decent edges there still in limit games. Everyone's still everyone's realized they can't really beat big bet, so they've moved over to mixed games, deuce to 7, and you see a lot of mistakes still there. So for now, I'm all right with my game. I don't need it right now. But if everyone gets better than me at mixed games and I have to go back to playing, PLO heads up and PLO ring games, maybe then I'll get involved.
Yeah, you said you see a lot of players who can't win anymore at the big bet games. They're now moving over to play mixed games primarily.
Correct.
I always felt like a lot of. Go ahead.
No, go on. I was just agreeing. Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like a lot of guys who sort of like you see a lot of that's like the natural progression. Is you see a lot of no-limit guys go to PLO and then they go to PLO to mixed games, and it always seems like a lot of the PLO guys are usually tend to be like maybe they're just not beating it as much, but they just sort of a lot of guys say they want a new challenge or they want to get action because a lot of guys, I think Sauce has been playing and I think Ben's been playing and maybe Felgalfon, like they just don't get action at heads up. So they sort of use these mixed games as a way to play and get people to play with them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Sauce has kind of made the transition. Galfon did, but now I think he's realized that I don't think he wants to. I think he's not even sure about his current PLO game, let alone whether he's good enough to now beat mixed games, which he doesn't know that well at all. So, and Ben hasn't moved over at all. But yeah, Sauce has made the transition, but I still think he's not. I still see some things he does wrong, but I mean, he probably sees a bunch of things I do wrong in No Limit and PLO.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm trying to think what other guys have transitioned over. I mean, Jungle Man's been playing mixed games for a long time.
Jungle Man has moved across as well. Because Jungle was the best big bet player, and now you see he's realized that everyone's gotten, maybe too good for him at big bet somehow, and he's the biggest big bet winner of all time. So it just shows you. So yeah, I think he's a winner in mixed games. Although as well, I still see a few things that he doesn't do. I think it's close between him and Sauce, who's better. I think he might be a little bit better at mixed games.
Do you is there like a guy who's like the consensus best player in the mixed games? Is it like a Chow Ren or?
Well, Chow Ren and Josio were kind of considered the best, like maybe a couple years ago, but since then, sort of everyone's sort of. I don't see them beating the game so much anymore. I have to say I think Abba's decent. I mean, he gives me a bit of a headache. He's still very tough in big bet, and he's played the limit games for a long time, so he's pretty good. But to your question, I don't think there is no one. I think it used to be Josio and Chow Ren. They used to say, "Oh, they're the best mixed game players," but I think everyone's kind of evened out. Everyone that plays 2-4 and 4-8, I don't think there's that much edge between them.
How much do you think someone gains? Like there was the whole entire situation with Brian where Brian was playing in those games. How much do you think a person playing in those games actually gains playing on a different account where in those games, especially compared to something like PLO? So now it's multiple games where it's a new account that shows up and plays. Do you think it's that big of an edge, or what do you think about that?
Tough to say. Probably not much difference in PLO or mixed games, whether you go on a new account or whatever. What he did. Only thing is in mixed games, when people see a new account, the game fills quite quickly, and the game will fill with a lot of worse players, the people that want to take shots and say, "Oh, who's that guy? I've never seen him." So you get people from 40-80 now jumping up to 100, 200, or 200, 400 quite easily just because they've seen a fish. So you probably do have actually more of an edge doing, if you were going to do that at mixed games rather than doing it at PLO. Because the PLO game, he probably doesn't even have an edge at PLO 6 max anyway. So it's definitely more valuable if you were going to do that at mix rather than do that at PLO.
Yeah, I always think at PLO, on Stars, if a new account shows up, and he seems to be playing like somewhat in a normal way. I mean, that's a, it's sort of like a ding, ding, ding. Okay, let's be on the lookout here. Like it could be who the fuck knows. But at mixed games, like I don't know if it's obvious to tell if you're playing with someone who's an experienced player, if you're playing with someone who is a fun player.
Well, there's 48 hands around, 6 hands of 8 games, so it'd be pretty. After 1 or 2 rounds, you'd be pretty much able to tell whether. I mean, I knew Noel was a decent player, like after a round of playing with him. I knew it wasn't a fish. And
that's what's funny is like you read some of the comments and people are like, "Oh, we thought it was a fish for like a month or two." Like, I feel like after 2 rounds, you sort of know real fast, like, maybe this is somebody, like, maybe this isn't the person on the account.
Got 8 games to check whether he's made a mistake in 8 different games. So if he's playing deuce perfectly, raz perfectly, stud perfectly, something's got to be like, open your eyes, not a fish.
I know. It's Sure. What did Pete say, man? He said, "I'm caressing the mic like a peanut." Listen, I'm new to this mic. I just want to touch the fucking thing. It's just in my face. I can't help it. It's really, and it keeps dropping too. So I got to keep picking it back up. So it's easier just to hold it. Shout out to High Stakes Database, man. Shout out to my boy Pete on there. Who we got in the chat? What's up, Arnie? Welcome back.
So what else? What else do you need to know?
What else do I need to know? I don't think I need to know anything, man. But there's just a lot of things people want to know about you, man. You're sort of like you're well known, but you're also mysterious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people really don't know much about you. So they've seen you on TV, they've seen you act a little bit crazy on television. Obviously there's a lot of these YouTube clip moments where there's sound bites and all this stuff like that. But I don't think people really know much about you.
Yeah, well, but back in the day, then I was like 24, 25, and I was on top of the world, and I thought I was undefeatable. So obviously, I was going to act like a bit of a cocky youngster. Then obviously, you go broke a few times, and reality dawns on you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe don't act like that.
How old are you now?
31.
31, man. 1 year. You're 1 year older than I am, man. Yeah, I feel like when you're younger and you got a lot of money. I mean, I think back then when you were younger, you were doing what was your bankroll? What was like the peak it was up to at one point in time?
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot back then, yeah.
I mean, it's just like you can't tell me nothing, man. Like fuck it. What can someone tell you? You know what I mean? You got millions of dollars. You're going to Ibiza. You're hanging out. You're partying. It's like, well, fuck, dude. Like I'm not listening to any of you motherfuckers. So.
Yeah, it was a sick one. I went to Bahamas. I'd never been to no like live tournaments, or I'd had a couple in like in England or whatever, but I'd never been to no EPTs I've never even been to the World Series at this point. And so I went to I think this Bahamas in 2008 or 2009, and I brought a whole crew of people. It was the sickest time. Anyway, like the bar bill, the hotel bill at the end, we went to the club every night. It was like 80,000 or something, and this is right around the time that like Blom had just come onto the scene, and he was playing on iPoker. He'd like run up like 2K into 2 million, right around them. So I was playing him every day, and all throughout the holiday, I was like losing $1 million one day and winning $1 million the next day, like super swings like I'd never had before playing him. And I hadn't even played on Full Tilt or Stars yet, but there was huge Euro games back then. Anyway, at the end of the holiday, the hotel bill came to like 80K for 2 weeks. So fuck, how are we gonna pay this? All right, let's go just online blackjack, yeah. And we just bet. The maximum bet was 9,000. You could bet it on 6 boxes, £9,000. I just bet 6 boxes, yeah, and the dealer went bust, and it just paid for the hotel. It was a sick time. I just thought, wow, like. But like, obviously, I lost back some money at online blackjack. Maybe 6 months later. I don't play no online shit, but that was just like a one-off. But then obviously that made me think, well, I can even beat that. It was mad though, because probably 3 months after that, I might have had a bad session, and then I went and played the online blackjack on Betfair, and I lost like so much. It might be like 300K or something. Wow. And then like I read like a month later. It's like, Zygmunt wins 300K on like online Betfair's blackjack. Yeah, he like tweeted about it. So it was like obviously the money I lost went to him, like in the cycle of, because obviously it's not a random generator, it's just a fucking rig and they have to pay out a percentage. They paid him out, I didn't get paid out, sort of thing. So it was quite funny reading that.
I'm trying to think about this for a second. $80,000 in a, what the fuck are you getting in the hotel room, dude?
That's what I mean. I brought like, I had 4 rooms. Each room was like $1,000 a night. It's 14 days.
Yeah.
Went to the clubs, went to the Nobus.
Nobu's expensive. Okay. Now it's making more sense here. Okay.
You know what? That's where I bought the famous Jakeys, actually.
Really?
Yeah, in Bahamas that holiday. I think I even charged it to the room, so that might have been another reason why it was more expensive.
Do we still have the Jakeys?
Do you want to see it?
Of course we want it. We want to see the yellow. We want to see the Jakeys, man. That's what everyone wants to see. Everyone was hoping for the yellow and the Jakeys.
Oh, it's in the other room. I'll get it in a minute.
No problem, man. No problem. Appreciate that.
I actually went to sell it the other day. I wanted to sell I didn't want to sell that. I wanted to sell a couple of my other ones, and I wanted to swap it for a nice it's a Rolex called a Sky Dweller. It's like a sick watch. It's like £25,000, and they just try and hustle you so hard. They're trying to give me like 2K for a watch that's worth 10K or worth 15K. So I just told them to jog on.
Which color are you gonna get the Sea Dollar at? I'm looking it up right now, or Sky Dollar rather.
The rose gold.
Rose gold.
Yeah.
So flashy, man. I don't feel like I can't pull off I think you could pull off a all gold watch better. I can't pull a all gold watch like this.
Yeah, no, I don't really like all gold, but rose gold's kind of nice.
Yeah. Are you a big watch guy? You spend a lot of money on watches?
No, I haven't bought one for years, but I saw that on someone's wrist and I was like, wow, yeah, I want that.
You're like, where'd you get that watch from? How much is it? They're like 30K or 40K. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good. Where'd you see that at? Were you playing live poker at the? Where do you play? You play at the what's the casino out in London called? Vic or something like that?
Yeah. It was some like one of these Euro guys. You know, Euro, that country. It's like someone from Euro.
The continent, Luke. The continent. Come on, man.
Yeah. He was like some like flashy wannabe gangster dude, innit? But he had like loads of watches, loads of blings, and he had that, and he was donking off fiercely as well. So I was like, wow.
When you we were talking about, I guess, acting on television earlier, playing the televised appearances. When you look back at those moments, do you regret acting like that, or do you think that's how I was then, and now if I was on TV again, or if I was playing in those same tournaments, I probably would be acting a little bit different?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I look at a clip, or someone send me a clip and be like, no, and I'll just be like, oh, I can't watch it, it's too cringe. But yeah, I'd probably behave obviously very different if I was on television again, but I still wouldn't hold back. I'd still be like, still crack decent banter and that. Yeah.
Do you make any? Do you plan anything anymore? You play any cash games or any of the tournaments or anything like that?
What, live games? Oh, I like
that end up being televised and stuff like that. Like there's the Premier Leagues. I don't even know. I don't really watch much of these. Like sit and go.
That's the thing. It was when I was on TV and that, it was Eddie Hearn who was like who runs Matchroom boxing and loads of different like sporting events. He was focusing a lot of his time onto poker, and he really got it going. But now he's just like fully taken over the boxing, and he just can't be bothered. Basically, I think so. He's the reason it fell through, because he's quite a powerful man in TV. So if he was to come back on it, then maybe yeah, because they were doing loads of stuff with Poker Stars, loads of stuff with loads of different people, you know. But I think they still do the Premier League, and they do WPT Alpha 8s and that. But to be honest, there's not that much televised stuff for the Poker Stars cage. It's not like it used to be.
Yeah, I don't even know. Do they still film? I guess they film those random cash games. Like I think the last one was in some random place in Prague or something like that. Do you get invited to play in those things still?
Yeah, there was that one. That was a big game recently. Yeah, I played on that before actually, but I do get like Facebook requests to play in the game from Leon, whoever's running it.
Yeah, that was the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to play in those games then?
You know, sitting down, to be honest with you, I don't really got the role to sit down with £300,000 and sit with like 6 different Germans. You know, if it was maybe a little bit smaller and maybe not. I don't like traveling that much either. It's just not really. It's not really my thing. Plus, I mean, I'm still decent at No Limit, but probably wouldn't have an edge, you know, playing with all these guys that all they do is play high rollers and No Limit all day, you know. I would like, if they had like big mixed games, big mixed game tournament or televised, something like that, that's what I would do. But it's probably too hard for the viewers to understand like a low and a high in the same hand and shit like that, you know. So they'll stick to televised hold'em probably for the future.
I've always wished. I mean, I always say like there should be more PLO of these things televised, but you know, if they're not going to be running PLO, they're certainly not going to be running mixed games where people don't know what the hell's happening in these games. So like they're watch Badoogie, they're like, I don't know, I have no, like their head's going to explode sort of thing. But I mean, with Twitch, I could see something coming up from Twitch, but.
I was going to do a Twitch. I was thinking about doing a Twitch one time. Like, I might still do a Twitch. Just that'd be kind of interesting. Yeah, they did a PLO Poker After Dark a few years ago. That was quite fun to watch. It was much more fun than watching Hold'em. You know, you see a lot of mistakes as well from these live pro with these big full tilt players and that. It was a good watch. Yeah,
the game played much differently than you'd anticipate a 6-max game, because there was, I guess, obviously the stacks there, I'm pretty sure, were much deeper, and there were guys limping. Obviously, just online, you never really saw much limping in the game. So I think that was one thing that was interesting, and I remember Brandon Adams maybe was not the most plus EV in that game, and Jared Blesnick's interactions with Phil Ivey and everyone at the table was sort of humorous too. So I still go back and watch that sometimes. So I just think it's still like a really fun watch.
Yeah, for sure. The high stakes poker died as well. I think that kind of ended TV poker as well, though. When they stopped, I don't know what the last season was, season 7 maybe or something, but that's not been on for maybe 5 years. Mm-hmm. And I think that was kind of a big thing for TV poker. You know, everyone loved that on PokerTube. I haven't been on PokerTube in years myself.
Yeah. Do you go on Twitch? Do you watch any Twitch streams? You got Poker Staples. There's Jay Carver. I guess Elky's on there. Do you watch any of those guys?
I was playing like a 4-800 game, a mixed game, which was quite a big game. But it was basically running for Negreanu.
Right. Yeah, and you had to.
So I think I watched that Twitch. It was on a delay or something.
What did you think about him? Were you like, what the fuck is he doing? This is awesome. He's just giving me this free information when Negreanu was streaming the 4-8 game.
Well. The thing is, I kind of knew how he was going to play anyway. It's kind of obvious how he was going to play. You know, nothing against him. Obviously, he's very good self-promoter and a bunch of other things. And when you're that big of a name in tournaments, it's kind of easy to manipulate the fish and not bully the fish, but you know, just make things go your way a lot more. So. Mm-hmm. I'm not surprised at how he's done so well in tournaments and people like Hellmuth and stuff like that as well, because it's just they're good at playing those players. They know how to make them fold to them, and they know how to make them call to them and stuff like that. Fishy players. But Daniel in a 4-8 mixed game online, I mean, he had a couple winning sessions, but he would be a big dog over time, you know. I mean, he doesn't even play like big mixed games in Vegas or anything, you know. Those big mixed games in Vegas are like a bunch of Vietnamese players and a bunch of like really solid American players, you know, John Manetti, a few others, Harmon, whatever, Oppenheim. But he would get smashed in those lineups as he would online as well, even if he did win 50K on the one session and everything's cool and he's on his couch and he's watching his Rocky videos and, you know, he loves Rocky, so whatever.
What up, CG? CG says, ask him about the state. Yeah, what do you think the state of the 8 game is right now on Stars?
Well, it kind of needs someone to be there for the games to run. So, like, it's very hit and miss. You know, 1 week it can be very busy between 40, 80 and 100, 200, 200, 400. Well, not 2-4 so much, but it can be busy at 1, 2. But then, like, you know, this week it's been dead since Wookoop's over. When Wookoop and Scoop's on, it's really good because everyone comes out to play. So it's very busy then. It's a good time to capitalize then. But yeah, I mean, it's still value. There's definitely still value there, I think. But yeah, I'm looking at the lobby now. It's just one name. That happens a lot. I mean, there's one 40-80 game, but so sometimes you'll have like 5-1-2 games if like if Chuffy's around and he's firing. You get decent action then. But normally it's not that much action. You got to, that's why for me I don't really play that much online. There's never that much action. So like if I was to play now, I'd have to go play Ravenswood a heads up. And yeah, I personally think I might have an edge versus him if I'm playing my best. In fact, if I'm playing my best, I definitely have an edge over him at 8 game. But that's just a high variance game, and it's not something I'm that interested in taking just right now.
How's Ravenswood 8 game? Because he was primarily a PLO player. Obviously, we've seen him battle with Israel a lot at 08. But how's his overall 8 game coming along?
I think he's decent. Like I don't want to say too much about his game, but
that's fine. Definitely not.
But I think he's a little bit overrated in 08. Actually, I mean, me and him have played a bunch of 3-6 08, and I've beaten for a lot of money there. But he does seem to play anyone at 1,000, 2,000. So he must be doing something right. But if I had a bigger role, I'd probably play him a lot more at 08 actually. But it's a bit pointless, like battling at maybe 75, 150. I play him. I take shots to him at 3-6 maybe once or twice a month, and they've gone well this year. But yeah, maybe if I run it up a bit more, I'll play him 1,000, 2,000 one day. How
do you decide when the time's the shot take against him? What are you feeling good? Your confidence is up. You're winning some money. You're like, fuck it, let's get at it here.
Yeah, something like that. I'd take a 20 or 40k shot, sell a little bit, and go ahead and play.
Man, it's crazy to see Ravenswood just battling. Like Ravenswood a couple years ago at PLO, he's playing 2-4, 3-6 and battling anyone there, and now he's playing uber high stakes 08 versus anyone. It's just kind of it's been crazy.
It's weird. What I was going to say about the 08, which is weird, is that back in the day there was them 3 Americans that played 08, right? KPR, Sally Wu, and Cottonseed. There was 3 of them, and they used to hunt Gus like to the death. And they'd also like pretty much hunt Ivy as well. But now they've all disappeared apart from KPR, who still plays. And now KPR doesn't play bigger than 75, 150, right? When he was playing like 2,000, 4,000 for fun every day for like 5 years, yeah. Which is like, I've got a funny theory on it, but I think personally they were using some machine or something when they were playing that 2,000, 4,000. And now stars have not let them use that. They found out, and they've not let them use that machine. So now they don't want to risk their money at those high stakes. So that's why he only plays like 75, 150. Because, they're all multi-million-dollar winners at 2,000, 4,000. And now the guy's playing 75, 50. It doesn't add up too much. It just doesn't make sense. Even like in Wookoop, JRB, Jacqueline, John Robert Milan, he came along. He likes to play 1,000, 2,000. And like when he plays, obviously everyone jumped in. I jumped in. You would think KPR would even take a shot then maybe, but no, he's still playing like 75, 150 and 50, 100. So I think that it's kind of weird that they've all disappeared.
Interesting. I guess I don't know many. I don't have, like, I talked to a lot of people, but they're mostly in the PLO community. I don't really talk much to any of the mixed game guys about, or even, oh wait, that's really interesting. I haven't heard anything like that. And I have a theory about Americans who are undercover. Any American who like is sort of in the shadows usually might be up to something. That's just a new theory. I've come up with this new theory recently. Anytime I know an American poker player who you don't hear anything about him anywhere, he never really is anything. Usually I'm always like, I want to dig deeper and figure out exactly why that person chooses to be that way.
I've always, out of the 3 of them, I've always wanted to know who they were. I mean, I know KPR is Kyle Henson or something. I'm not sure exact name. I think he's got a picture on Google on that. But the other 2, they're just super mysterious. And like, you know, Gus would disconnect sometimes, and then he wouldn't even give Gus his bet back, or something like that would happen when they were like super hunting them. They're like just like fucking robots or something. And I honestly think like they're not allowed to use whatever system they were using, and that's why they don't play high stakes anymore.
Have you heard that from someone, or is that something that you just?
That's just something I believe. I mean, I play him like all the time at 75, 150 OA, and I don't see anything special at all. And I haven't even seen him for a few weeks now. You know, it's just weird. I don't think he can beat the game at all without his little program. But maybe I'm just paranoid. Too much weed. Who knows?
I love how these days, like, you know, before back in the day, if you said something like this, some people are like, yeah, like, you know, okay, you're crazy. But now there's so much talk from everyone. I mean, you have different people on the podcast, and everyone's always like, well, maybe this person might be using a program, and this person's using this, and Hollywood Haxton's got the Dream Machine, and like, it's legit. Like, how much of a concern is it for you when you play in these high stakes games?
Well, that's why 8 games kind of good, because there's 8 games. So, you know, one guy might have a program for one game, but it's going to be hard to have a program for all 8 games. You know.
Mm-hmm. Wait, oh my gosh. You know what? I'm thinking about it. I remember somebody mentioned to me during the series this summer about, they speculated something like that too, but I think it was the Deuce to 7 game, not 08 game. So
yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of things. People have got plenty of programs for Deuce to 7 as well. But I mean, there's a thing called, I forget the site. I've used it once before. What's it called? Something Trout. You can like type in some equities and see what hands play well versus each other and Deuce to 7. So there's already sites like that. But yeah, people have probably got some programs in that. The Germans, it's weird. The Germans got so good at Deuce to 7. Like that's what's kind of weird, because you know, all these old school players, they've played Deuce to 7 since what, the 1990s, yeah. And you can have like a German come along, get taught by another German, yeah. And now all of a sudden, this German now can play 2,000, 4,000, anyone he wants to in the world. Which is kind of strange. So, yeah.
That is strange. That is strange, isn't it? It's pretty strange.
They're not doing nothing wrong, but I mean, they must have some program or something that's helping them a lot, because, you know, a guy like Taklos, he was like I didn't even know much about him. He was like no limit 20 player or something, you know, and then 2 months later, you know, he's playing 2,000, 4,000 on full tilt, and he's just been taught by someone. You know, he's probably not done nothing wrong, but fucking hell, whatever program they've got, they're onto a good thing.
Pete says, Pete from High Stake Database said, Gus Hansen was very vocal about that as well, in terms of those guys using some sort of machine against them.
I'm sure they were. I mean, well, I'm not sure they were, but the fact that they're not playing the highest stakes now, and even John Robert Beland, even like potentially, I'm not saying Ivy's a fish, but they used to hunt Ivy. They're not hunting him now. So like, why would they used to be hunting all these people and sitting at the highest stakes? But they're not doing that anymore. There's got to be a reason. They didn't go broke. They're up like 10 million between the 3 of them.
Interesting question, man. Someone out there knows the answer. Somebody out there will. Somebody out there, let us know. You can, if you want to read. Oh, it's this article. Pete posted a link. He said Google Gus Hansen KPR 08 program. So I'm guessing this must have been a couple years ago. That something was written about this. What did people? What the hell is the question here? Oh, okay. What do you think about what do you think about Phil Hellmuth? Do you? As somebody said, ask him what he thinks about Phil Hellmuth. Do you like Phil Hellmuth?
Yeah, he's a nice enough guy. Whatever. He's a bit of a pigeon in reality. I mean, I played a mixed game with him a couple years ago in Vegas, and like, you know, it was like Badoogie. He called and drew 2. Someone raised under the gun, and he called under the gun +1. It's a 8-handed game, and he drew 2, and then like he showed up at the river with like Queen Jack 6 deuce Badoogie, which he won the hand with. So they like called a raise, draw 2 to 6 deuce. Like, it was awful play, you know. He's obviously doesn't. And then I saw him play the Raz tournament. He won the Raz tournament, you know. The Raz is the fucking easiest game. But even when he played that, I saw a couple of things he did I didn't like too much. So For his poker skill abilities, I don't rate him, but I do rate him that he's good at talking to fish, feeling out fish, making fish do what he wants them to do. But plus, it helps being a big name and a big face. You know, that helps you with that cause, and that's why I think people like him and Negreanu have done better than maybe their skill abilities.
What's a pigeon for people out there that don't know what pigeon means?
You can decide for yourself. It's a negative cuts to be fair.
All right, guys. I'm sure people are probably listening like, what the fuck's a pigeon? But you can probably use your imagination and figure it out. All right. So CG has something else too. This has been a popular subject recently in the high stakes thread. He said also ask him about alleged account sharing between Isildur, him, Flong, and Ilori. Now that's some stuff that I've been hearing about recently too in the high stakes thread and from people that I know on Skype. When I said I was going to have you in the podcast, they said, "Are you going to ask him about that? Have you heard anything about that?"
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of like decent action going, and obviously, there was times when all of us were in games, yeah, and then people know that some of us have everyone's done business with Isildur once upon a time, So people saying, "Oh yeah, you're account sharing," but to be fair, it's like total bullshit, like complete bullshit. They're saying all this rubbish. Isildur's in Sweden. I haven't spoken to him for like three or 4 months anyway. When people were saying this has happened, I said, look at mine and his fucking Skype chats. I haven't spoken to this guy since Scoop or something,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was bullshit. But I didn't know there was a thread about that. But
yeah, I think in the high stakes.
You know what? Actually, it's because this is a fucking joke. This WCJ Ryder guy, he's so up his own fucking ass. What happened was, so this guy fucking CG Ryder beats me for like, I don't know, it might have been 100,000 at 400, 800 mixed games, right? And he's fucking playing disastrous at all the games, yeah? Even fucking PLO, I don't rate his game. But anyway, he beats me in like all the limit games. I'm like winning off him a big bet, but he's just like killing me in the limit. Anyway, he wins like 100,000 over the space of like 3 sessions and 3 days. And then like game died down. It was 200, 400 or something. It was a 6 max game we were both in. And he said in the chat, Deuce to Seven's the most fun game out of all the 8 games, obviously. He just said that, yeah? And like me, I like Deuce to Seven. You can ask like a couple of the Germans. This Deuce to Seven's probably maybe top 3 game for me, maybe top 2. I'm pretty good at it. I'm very good at it. And I was like, okay, we can just play Deuce to Seven straight if you want, yeah? And he says, okay. I said 2-4. He said, okay, yeah. So we sat down at 2-4. And immediately I can tell this guy's shit. So we play 3-6, right? Now fucking start pounding him at 3-6, yeah? What happens? It's like 2 or 3 hours into the match, he like sits out for ages, yeah? We've both been taking breaks the whole time anyway, yeah? Because like it's pretty intense playing Deuce to Seven, like heads up for a long time. Because you're drawing cards. It's a bit different than just playing PLO and no limit, yeah? It was fast and it's a bit of a mad game. So we're both taking breaks, and then he takes like this long break. And I just like question mark. He says something like, "I don't want to play you. I don't want to play Victor anymore, Luke. I want to play you again." Yeah. And I'm thinking, this fucking guy is so up his own fucking ass. He beats me at 8 game when he was a dog. Yeah. Now he thinks he's such a god that he could never lose to me in any form of poker. Yeah. So he wants to now just. He's such a, I mean, the words can't even describe how much of a douche he is, yeah? But, so he says this, right? So now, I'm like, this is unbelievable. He's writing this in the fucking chat, yeah? This is a public fucking accusation. Isildur, right, is playing Zugwa at 1,000, 2,000. Or he just finished his game, right? He was playing 1,000, 2,000, Deuce to Seven, v Zugwa, yeah? And he's on like a 3 million upswing, yeah? So, well, apparently halfway through the game, I told Victor to come over to my house, play the game when he's in Sweden, yeah, and beat Doug for me at 300, 600. Oh, and we were chopping that game. It's a fucking ludicrous accusation, right? So anyway, so now I'm like steaming. I tell like some mutual friend, I tell Jungle Man, like, tell this guy what the fuck is he talking about? Jungle Man knows I would never do that. Anyway, So I Facebook him. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, nah, I know it was this all that are playing. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? I'm like, what do you want? I'll fucking play you on webcam then. So I'm fucking have to sit here playing on webcam. He's fucking in his gay vest, yeah? Sitting there in a pink vest, yeah? We're playing on webcam now, yeah? This is after I'm up like 40K off him, yeah? And he starts beating me. I'm so steaming. I just have to look at this guy on webcam, yeah? He's just like it's the most tilting brave you've ever seen, yeah? Proper waste man. Anyway, I ended up getting the money back. Then we played the next day. Anyway, I ended up like winning like 100,000 at 2-7 versus him. And he's like totally clueless at the game. Yeah, he's literally got no chance. And I'm like, so do I get an apology now? He's like, nah, I still know it was him. I'm like, okay, whatever, you fucking retard. So we haven't played since, basically. But I'm sure we'll play again at 8 games soon. But yeah, that was the reason that fucking all blew up, because he fucking said that, and it's a fucking joke, really, isn't it?
That's the kind of answer we were looking for. That's the you're playing. Wait, and that is actually I'm pretty sure that's the reason why it came to fruition recently in the high stakes thread was he made that comment, and then people were like, oh, yada 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 yada, all that bullshit like that. But you guys played together on a webcam, and he still thinks it was. I think
he knows it wasn't. I think he knows he wasn't. He said on the third day, he said, I'm too bad at this game. Like, he knew it was him, but he's too much of an arrogant douche to fucking admit it, that he was wrong. He's always right. You know, he's the great WCG rider, whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was wearing a pink vest when he saw you on the webcam?
Vest, like he was in a hotel lobby or something. He was just like loving life. And I'm just like, and I'm losing to him and I can't handle it. I'm just like, this is so steaming.
I'm trying to picture WCG. I mean, I'm friends with Doug too, so I'm trying to picture him in like a pink vest, like playing on the computer. He probably put that on just to tilt you. He's like, all right, I'm gonna play Fullflush on webcam, put on this pink
like an angle shoot, because he did it just to tilt me the whole thing anyway. But like it did work, it did tilt me, and like he did get some back when we were on webcam as well. The second I came off webcam, I just started pounding them again. It was weird.
Maybe Dildor came over and hopped down and took over.
Got straight back on a plane. Decided the 200, 400 PLO deep game with 4 tables with colour wasn't good enough action, and he wanted to play some 3-6.
What's your relationship like with Isildur these days? Were you guys like good friends before, or like people always they seem to like put you two together or something like that? Or were you guys good friends at one point?
Yeah. No, we're cool. Yeah, like obviously we've known each other for a long time. Like as I said, we started playing in like 2009. We were playing on the Euro sites before anyone even knew about him for a while. And then he moved to London. He's been living in London for like 5 years, but he's back in Sweden now. So we hung out a lot and partied a bit in London as well. But since he's gone back to Sweden a few months ago, we literally haven't talked at all, really. I've like texted him and said like, well played on your spin up and stuff like that. And a couple of times I had like couple side bets. I had like his side versus and I like little small cross books and stuff. So I won some money inadvertently without taking a piece of him, like betting on him versus with colour in some big game one time. I bet against a German guy. Are
you surprised that normally he goes on runs like this and then usually goes busto sort of quick? He usually has like a $5 million negative day and then he showered for a while. Are you surprised that this time's going that different and he's still in action? He's still, I think last I checked, he's still up a pretty good amount.
He's up a decent amount. Yeah. So it did seem like he was, it always seems like he's going to go bust eventually, not in a bad way, but yeah, I think he's taking things a little bit slower. Like, you know, he's not playing so much every day. He's actually going to sleep with money in his account. You know, he's not, when he finishes that marathon match with Source or with Colour, he doesn't just go and now play 1,000, 2,000 limit hold'em, because that's the only action he can get at 8 in the morning. He'll go to sleep and wake up the next day. So that's a positive for him. But again, he is going to be playing the highest possible stakes. He doesn't really have much bankroll management. So he does have to not run bad, not to go bust.
Well, it seems like he's been, I mean, I don't even know. I feel like during the first couple of heads-up PLO matches, it didn't seem like he was running exceptionally well. We did a lot of live streams. We watched them. It seemed like he wasn't necessarily like God moding it.
The guy's never used a HUD, yeah, and like, when he's playing his best, he might still be the best at PLO heads up in the world. That's why I said if he was still playing his best, he might be the best at no limit heads up in the world. How much edge can fucking WCG have in no limit hold'em? I don't think that much.
I don't know. I mean, I'd be curious to see. I guess PLO. I mean, obviously, I love PLO. That's my game. So I'm happy to see him battling a PLO. I get to see some great competition.
There's probably more of an edge in Hold'em than there is in PLO because it's easier to get lucky in PLO. But so probably the better Hold'em player is going to win more over time. But I still think he's just got great poker, like just a great poker soul. Kind of, he's just. He can turn it on. He's just got his aggression. He's got good board reads. He's got the one thing he might not have is like he doesn't have the. I feel like he's got okay game flow reads, but he doesn't. Sometimes he doesn't have like. He doesn't realize how people perceive him at any given time in a match. So like he might do a huge bluff. And I'll be like, yo, like that was bad timing for that. You've been steaming tilt. He's like, no, but I always have that on this board. And I'm like, yeah, but you just lost like 6 buy-ins in 10 minutes. He doesn't believe you. He knows what type of person you are, type thing, and that you are bluffing. You have bluffs in you, and you're tilting at the moment. So like that might be his only a bit of his game that might be a bit off, but he might clean that up as well.
Was that an Isildur impression you did?
No.
Yeah, but we love impressions around here. Jungle Man's usually the most popular person to get an impression done of him, but we've never had an Isildur impression on here.
I mean, I'll get back to you on that one. I'll try and think what he does.
Okay, we'll revisit that one a little bit later on here and in the podcast. What are some comments? What are people saying on here? Some people said they really want to see you on Twitch. What's the plan? Are you going to stream on Twitch? Are you still thinking about it? You undecided what you'll stream or what?
Like a while ago, I was thinking, I might make a coaching website for mixed games because no one had done that. And then I just thought, fuck it, I can't be asked. I just don't have enough time. And I thought, it might be fun. The funny thing is like, when I run bad, like what's happened to me mostly this year is that I've kind of been crushing like 1-2. And every time I've played 400, 800, I've like, it's gone horrific. I might be down like 200,000 or 300,000 at 4-8 this year. And like every time that happens, I think, you know what, fuck it, I'm so tilt. I'm just going to show everyone how to play every fucking hand. Like, fuck all these regs. I want to make everyone as good as them. Like, I'm so tilt. If I can't beat this fucking 4-8 game, then fuck this. They can have all the knowledge that's in my mind. This is how you play this spot in stud 8, blah, blah, blah. So I was thinking, I'll just do that on fucking Twitch next time I get tilted.
I've never thought about that logic before, but that's actually this could be an idea.
Yeah, that it goes out the window when you realize, fuck yeah, I can't just teach everyone how to play for free when you wake up the next day or when you're off tilt.
Yeah, you wake up and you're like, yeah, that'd be really fucking dumb, especially if I want to make any income from the games in the future.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I always think about that, just retiring and then just putting it out, just never playing again, just putting everything out there. But then you're like, well, I might need money again one time. I probably shouldn't do that. So that could be
to be honest with you, if I won like maybe 5 million, I'd probably just do that for fun, just to spite a few of the regs I don't like. Because I know these fucking regs are such nits. It's unbelievable. It would tilt them so hard. And I just don't like I don't like their attitudes. I don't like their bum hunting techniques. And like, even just thinking about it now, it's winding me up. So like, if I won a decent, like a lot of money, I'd probably just do that for fun anyway. It would tilt some live players as well. Because all these old school live players in America, not the ones that I was saying to you that like are the good ones, but like the Matt Glances and stuff that think they're so good at fucking 08 and shit. They're fucking terrible, yeah? But I'll just put the game out so that even they can't make a fucking coin in their little fishy Parks room casino or wherever they fucking play. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, they tilt me just as much.
Why Matt Glantz, man? What's wrong? What did he do?
He's just a tilt dude, man. And you know what else tilts me? He's He's a part of that crew. All these guys, they always tweet too much, man. They just fucking talk and tweet and love to talk about and moan. They fucking love moaning about shit, yeah, like in their tweets. And it's so fucking sad, honestly. The only thing sadder than their poker players moaning about tweets is when a poker player meets another poker player, yeah? And now he thinks he's found a friend. And he's so happy. He's like, my God, he's got his eyes light up. He's like, oh, he's going to be my roomie. And Americans love fucking roomies. And that is just too tilt as well, yeah? So, like, poker player meets another fucking poker player at an event. Oh, you're you online. Cool, man. He's so happy. It's like made his day. It's like he's found a fucking girl of his dreams, honestly. That's how sad it is.
What have you been watching? What's happening when you go to, give me some story. There's got to be an experience you're basing this off of. There has to have been something you saw that
I know that's how poker players operate. They're fucking losers. They ain't got no friends. What happens is they're so fucking happy to mingle with each other to find another buddy. To be fair, it's when you're playing online poker, I can understand it almost because it's an unsociable job. So the minute they find another grinder they can grind Sunday fucking tourneys with, they're fucking loving life. Especially if that person smokes weed as well. It's like they're fucking.
Fucking God. Now I'm going first. I didn't know we were talking about tournament players. Now we're talking about tournament. Yeah.
20 seconds.
Okay. Let me give a couple shout outs here, guys. Kevin Clarkson, what up, puppy? Cesar Contreras on YouTube. What's up, guys? Gonna stack you. What's up? Gonna stack. Human being. GDTV. Magnus Alex. Alex Magnuson. What up, Alex? Ricky Stewart. What's up, Ricky? Thank you as always for coming in. Dapper Dan, Tommy Guns, King Killer, Wim Roseboom. I'm gonna ban you from the chat. Dean will ask that question when we get back. Let's see. JMD, GG Roy, Fiending, give me the apples. Man, we got a lot of regulars out here. What's going on, guys? Lucky Chucky says this is quickly becoming my favorite podcast ever. Yes, this is interesting. This is a good one, guys. This is a good one, man. This is a good one. Chris George, what's up, Chris? Liam, what's up, Liam? Joey's getting an insight in a British person's mindset. I enjoy it very much. Martin, what up, Martin? Mauricio, loving the podcast. Joey, what's up? Joe C. Cedar, what up, puppy? Pete, what's up, Pete? Bunch of guys on Twitch. Thank you guys for tuning in. Alrighty, back. We got the Jakies over there. What, we got the Jakies?
See, you know what? To be fair, it's in the bedroom and she's there all asleep. I mean, I could sneak in, but
that's all right. That'll give us a reason for.
I don't have enough fans anymore to warrant that kind of thing, you know.
I don't know, man. You might have some fans after this podcast, kid. They're gonna. You might have some fans after this one. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, 2 + 2 back on my side, yeah.
Was 2 + 2 against you? They're not against you. No, they like you.
Against everyone. They're a bunch of trollers, man. They don't like anyone.
No, they like you.
Do they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, after they see this podcast, they're in. No, they're gonna like you for sure.
You got my back.
I got your mom. Of course, this is one of my favorite podcasts ever. Of course, man. I'm in. Anytime you got something to say, you let me know, man. I'm gonna have you on here. That's funny though what you say that about when tournament player or when poker players meet each other and they're like, oh, you want to go smoke weed in the hotel room, but
yeah, I fucking love that one as well, isn't it? Smoke weed on the break. They got weed. They're like 7 different people. Oh, can my friend come? Can my friend, my Brazilian friend, my Spanish friend? They get a whole herd of fucking the Super Tuesday comes up to one fucking room to smoke weed, man. Fucking sad, honestly.
Do Americans really love roommates? Like roommates on the road or something like that? I don't. Do they?
They've all got roomies. They've all got. You've had how many roomies you had?
Let me think. I had no roommate in Australia. I had a roommate in Vancouver.
They call it roomies that tilts me. Roommate, not too bad, but whatever.
I've never had a roomies. No, I never had roomies.
Not a roomie?
No, I've had like a roommate. I've never had roomies though.
Oh, roomie, okay.
Yeah, when I moved to a different country, it seems easier to move to a different country with somebody instead of by yourself. So a roommate makes more sense in that scenario.
Yeah, fair enough.
Not a Super Tuesday hotel room. I know Jimmy Staples, Poker Staples. He's got a bunch of roomies over in Canada. So maybe you're right. Maybe your tournament player roommate theory actually checks out here.
Cool, it definitely checks out for tournaments. Checks out for cash as well.
poker players love making friends with each other, honestly. Like, but it's fair enough in a way because it is a bit of a sad job, you know. There's not many women to chirps in the poker tables, you know.
Mm-mm.
It's not like your normal work environment where you could flirt with a girl or, you know, or go for drinks after work or something like that. It's more like, you know, sitting online playing on your own on poker. So if you meet someone else that wants to do this as well, wow, you know.
Is that your American impression?
No.
You have a good American accent over there, I can tell.
I've got an American passport, you know.
Oh,
you know,
why is that?
My parents are basically American, but I was born in London.
Interesting. So do you have an American accent?
No.
I don't know. I think I feel like you got one inside of you. I feel like you got an American accent happening in there.
I kind of do a good American accent, yeah.
Oh well, I'm learning my British accent as we speak during this podcast right now. So I don't think I can do the British accent though. It's your British accent is like, I don't know. I feel like it sounds unique, but I just don't have a lot of English friends or British friends. I just don't talk to many, so I'm not sure if it's in line with how everyone else sounds over there.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of a hard accent. It's a nicer accent than the American accent. The American accent is so whiny half the time, don't you find? It's pretty whiny voices, isn't it? Slow as well. Speak up quite slow.
Well, I must have not been speaking slow. So I got the podcast, so I got to keep things going on here.
I don't mind your voice, innit? But
yeah, thanks, man. Why? I mean, honestly, that means a lot. You know, coming from me, you know, we've heard some things that means a lot. Thank you, sir, man. That's nice of you, man. That's nice. I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming on the podcast. You know, I think you followed me on Twitter a month or two ago, and then someone suggested for the 100th time, get Fullflush on a podcast. You know what? I'm like, fuck it. Let's message the guy. Let's see if he wants to come on. And instantly you're like, yeah, sure. Let's do it whenever, man. So I appreciate you wanting to come on.
No worries.
It's been a lot of fun, man. Well, if you guys have some questions in the chat, we have some questions. Let me look at my notes here, man. His opinion on Andrew Feldman. What? Yeah, whatever. Okay. So you go to, what happened to this guy? Andrew Feldman, the little guy used to play on all the cash games and stuff like that. You guys had like a little battle together, right?
He's probably not worth even talking about, that kid, but he's been out the game for about 5 years as well. Yeah. He's a total pigeon, actually. He is a real life pigeon as well.
What makes him a life pigeon?
Well, I mean, he just can't even interact with people. He's too weird. And also, like, you know, what would make guy might be worth like £4 million and then like argue about chopping a dinner free away because he didn't eat any fucking edamame beans. You know what I mean?
Edamame beans are cheap too, so
exactly. He wants to pay,
inexpensive.
He wants to pay 22% of the meal instead of 25. You know, something like that. But a lot of people are like that though.
A lot of nits. I feel like most of the high stakes. I mean, okay, so I know a lot of cash guys. They're not very nitty. They're crazy. Like they want to. Like I know the Scandinavian kids. So whenever I go out to dinner with Odd Odson and Iseldrun and those guys, they want to. They're the most unnitty people I've ever met in my life. So yeah. I guess PLO players tend to be a little bit splashier. I feel like.
Yeah, I think it might not even be to do with the game. It's just to do with like the person inside you. But yeah, there's a lot of people that are like Feldman in that case, and it's much more fun to hang around with people like the Swedes. You know, Isildur does it like that as well. It's easy come, easy go, and whatever. The club's 5K, make it back online. Not, oh my God, I can't believe the club doors come to now. I'm going to have to tilt for the next like 3 weeks of that.
Yeah, maybe the Scandinavians are in general. Have you ever met a Scandinavian who just wasn't crazy? Like some of the Finnish kids I met at WSOP seem pretty fucking nitty, but a lot of the Swedish and Norwegian guys are just insane.
The Scandinavians seem to be pretty broke, though, to be fair now. There's not many of them that play anymore. I mean, you've got 3 countries, Denmark, Norway and Sweden. And, you know, Sweden and Norway used to make up for, like, probably literally 80 or 90% of the poker in Europe, probably, I would say, maybe 5 years ago. And the Germans just came along and that all changed. The Germans pretty much sent all the fucking Scandies broke. And now, I mean, what Scandies are left? I mean, yeah, you mentioned those two at PLO. Is Louty from Scandinavia? I don't know.
From Netherlands.
Netherlands, yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a few, but there's a lot more Germans now, and I think the Scandies had their time in like the glory days in the early 2000s.
Yeah, still got. I mean, I guess you got Gene still. You got Vroom from Finland. I guess
you know what? There are some, and the Finnish players are pretty good at PLO, but overall, back in the day, it was just there was just so many Swedes and so many Norwegians, and there's not many Swedes and Norwegians actually anymore. Like it seems like there's more Finnish high stakes players now. Actually,
I'll look this up. I feel like the Germans haven't overtaken PLO quite yet.
No, the Germans haven't taken up PLO. No, but they overtook like no limit tournaments and deuce to seven and
everything, everything else, right? Yeah, I mean, kind of. I'm looking at the games right now. There's a bunch of 2.
PLO money gets passed around a lot though, more in PLO than it probably does in no limit and deuce to seven.
I think that's true, just because there's obviously more 6-max action that runs. I mean, 51, 1-2, and 2-4 have been running pretty consistently throughout W Coop. So, and as long as Isildur's in action, I think 2-4 and 1-2 are probably going to keep running as well.
Yeah, and Ivy as well.
Oh yeah, isn't it interesting to see? I mean, I guess you mentioned how the guys used to hunt Ivy at 08, but now like he's the spot in these high stakes PLO games that run on Stars. It's something most people would never have imagined before.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's like, I mean, I think I'm good at PLO, and I was thinking the other day, you know, well, probably Ivy might be a bit better than me at PLO, and these guys are all hunting him like apparently they're so much better than him at PLO. So what the fuck? How much fucking knowledge do they have in the game? I don't know how they're getting that knowledge, but maybe the HUDs are just that useful. And I mean, I feel like my board texture reads in PLO are very good. I feel like I understand the game well, but if I'm worse than Ivy and these guys are 100 times better than him or a lot better than him, how fucking good are these guys at PLO? I mean, you must feel the same as well because you used to play PLO all day, right? I mean, you probably still do play, but you don't play big stakes online anymore, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess. I still think there's guys that aren't really too HUD oriented, like a Barry Sweet. He's from Sweden as well. I know he's not a big, GTO obsess over the HUD guy. I mean, I think Futek might be the same type. I don't know if he's one of those guys who he's also from Sweden as well. I don't know if there's still like a lot of guys, even Lottie. There's still a lot of guys who aren't these HUD obsessed people who can have success playing at high stakes PLO. I don't think the HUD's really overtaken things.
Maybe not. Maybe they're just super good and they got big goals and they play the game all day. That's the thing about me. Obviously, I play like 8 games, so I'm concentrating on so many different games. It's hard to improve my game in PLO enough to probably compete with these guys. But if I studied it and played 5-10 heads up for a few months, maybe then I could become better. But I'm not going to do that just yet. While there's still money about in mixed games.
Yeah, I think PLO sort of got in the way. So a couple of years ago, you didn't really have anyone who's been playing PLO for like 6 years straight. But now at this point in time, you got these guys like Lottie's been playing he's been playing consistently for the last years now. He plays all the time for years now. So it's like it's a lot harder to get back.
My friend Matthews, he was an old school player. Do you know Matthews?
I played a bunch of them. Yeah,
he still plays, but he always had big respect for Louty as well, and those two must have gone back since like I don't know 2005 or something like that. Well, but Matthews was playing Ivy in 2005 or 2004 on full tilt at 200-400 back then, and I was playing Louty one day heads up, and he's like, "Yo, that guy's really good." I'm like, "Him? I've never seen him." He's like, "This guy's been playing PLO for fucking years. He's sick." And then I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'll take the word." Then I played him and realized he's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's like the biggest 10-20 winner in PokerStars PLO history.
Really, yeah.
And who do you have? So you mentioned about the friends thing in poker. Do you have poker friends? Like, do you have guys that you would consider poker friends, or most of your friends not in poker?
No, I've got a few poker friends. Obviously, it's going to sound hypocritical now. Salute everyone that's got poker friends, yeah. But like the way I met my poker friend, I had a lot of friends from before anyway, and we come into poker together and stuff like that. So it wasn't like I don't sit at a table and go and say, oh, wow, that's you. Wow, yeah, man. Let's go smoke a spliff. Wow, let's become best buddies. Let's sell action. Let's do this. Let's just travel the world together. It's me and you forever. You know, and that's what.
Let's travel the world together forever. It's me and you. You didn't meet Isildur and say that? You're like, Isildur, what's up? Oh, my, come here, buddy. You didn't give him a big hug and invite him to dinner and get a drink?
We played for like 2 years online before we'd even met each other. We obviously we spoke on, before it was Skype, it was MSN. We used to speak on MSN, yeah? And when we met, it was cool, but it wasn't like we were catting each other and just really wanted to hang out. Like, you know, we both got social. He's got a social life. I've got a social life. We're not desperate for friends like some of these other kids.
Do you have power pigeon rankings? So like the biggest pigeons in poker? Is there some sort of Diesler? Good comment, Puffy. Good question. Good question, Diesler. Good question.
Who's the biggest pigeon in poker? I can't really rate it. I can't really think at the top of my head, but yeah.
We're big into power rankings around. Everyone usually brings a list of power rankings for things, so maybe we'll maybe we can come think about that one later. I'm trying to think of pigeons. I don't know. I like this word pigeon though, like a life pigeon. I really like that word.
It's a good one, isn't it?
It's a really great one. Like I've got to start using that one. That one's it sounds so mean and also mysterious at the same time if someone doesn't know what it means.
You know, because you're American, you might not know all the British slang for poker words. There's a few others. Have you ever heard of the word bowl?
No, bowl?
Bowl. So it's a bowl comp. Oh, that's bowl. This is bowl. Bowl is like, it originated from having a bowl of rice. How many chips you got in the tournament? I got a bowl. I had a bowl of rice. I ain't got nothing, yeah? Now it's turned into, he's a bowl dude. He's a bowl brer. That's some bowl game. It's a pretty good word. Okay.
Bowl. What else we got? Give us a couple more.
What other ones have we got? That's the main one I use. I use bowl a lot. Obviously, everyone knows tilt. Tilt's a sick word though, because you know, even people who don't play poker, they just realize, like my friends, even my family, they understand the word tilt and they just use it in everyday life now as well. Because it's a pretty decent word, really, if you think about it. It's just like, oh, I'm so frustrated. You know, that sounds, I'm tilt. It's an easy way of saying it. Oh, I'm so tilted today.
Yeah, a couple people want to know. You're using that word a couple times. I think you used that word 6 times on Twitter and Skype earlier before we finally figured all this shit out. So, ask him about Tom Dwan. Oh yeah, you and I remember some comment. What was that, man? There was a real epic clip of you commenting about Tom Dwan. He's like a nerd or like a dweeb or something like that. I remember.
I think it was the same interview with that Jacobs one.
What's your relationship like with Tom Dwan? Do you guys still have? Do you guys have one now? Did you have one before? Like what was it? What was up with you guys?
It was just like I thought back then that he was very overrated, which I think he was at No Limit Online, and I know I just wanted. I had a big ego. I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be loved or whatever. So I probably just cussed him. Obviously, it wasn't really called for what I was doing, but I was on a hype. I was trying to make a name for myself, whatever. But yeah, he don't play online anymore anyway. He's always in Macau or playing live. He plays in London as well. There's big games in London with the Macau guys as well. So.
Oh, really? So he comes over with the Macau guys?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
What is life like, you think, for him in Macau? Like I met, like what is happening? He just plays these Macau games with these the Chinese businessmen every single day or something? Like
I couldn't tell you. I've never been to Macau myself, and so I don't really know. But yeah, it's not. I'm not really that interested in it. I think people who go there now have probably missed the boat on it. Probably people have gone a lot better there now as well. So. Maybe if you're him and you're getting in those like huge games with like the business fish, then it's good. But going out there to grind like 10, 20 or 50, 100, probably better off. You might as well do it anywhere, you know, in your local casino or in Vegas or in Atlantic City.
Mm-hmm. A couple people, yeah, a bunch of people wanted you to talk about what kind of live games run over there in London. What's the live scene like there?
There's two main casinos that play poker. There's the Vic, and there's the Palm Beach. So I'm just playing Chinese. So yeah, there's the Vic and the Palm Beach, and the Vic's more like the homely place where there's like probably 20 tables there, ranging from like £51 all the way up to maybe 10.25 on a good day. And the Palm Beach is maybe like a few tables from 5-10 upwards, and you can get like bigger games with straddles and stuff like that.
Okay. McNitty said, I think Tom Dwan's being trapped in a basement held by the triads. I mean,
that's what I mean. It's so pigeon. This 2+2, like people, they just got all these theories on what's happened to Tom Dwan. You know, it's like, all right, he's doing this thing. Just let him be in it. He's there, in it. Forget about it.
Yeah, definitely forget about him. He's been out of everything for a long time now, man. I feel like he's like a permanent Macau resident over there.
Yeah. I don't think he'll come back online. Like even Galfond, he's sort of seen like, unless I'm playing 24/7 all year round, I don't have an edge online. That's why like he's come back online. He's not even playing deuce to 7. Last year when he was playing online, he was playing a lot of deuce to 7, and he was dabbling in 8 game. Now he's not doing either of the two, and he's just playing like 25-50 PLO. So I think everyone sort of realizes that online is just like a very tough climate these days.
I think it's probably tough with Phil. Obviously, he just got married, which was kind of a bigger thing in the little poker world. So I mean, when you're American, you got a wife, like you don't want to necessarily go to Vancouver for fucking 7 months and just work on your poker game. And then when you take a 5-month break, you're not playing much poker. It's really hard to stay competitive against, like, as we said, the best players who are playing the game every single day. It's just,
he's obviously made decent money now anyway, Galfond. So it's not like he's in, he doesn't need to. He could probably retire. I mean, I don't know his finances. He might. A lot of people have got more money than they do in poker. For one, he could have lost a lot of money staking or taking pieces, or in live games. You don't know. Obviously, he's been a big winner online over the years. You don't know how much he was pieced out, but yeah.
Yeah, you never know who's got what action, who's got how much money. There's people playing 200, 400 that could be broke right now. It's like the poker world's mysterious.
Exactly.
What is Luke's views on Tony G? People keep asking this question. They just want to know your thoughts on people. You got to get on the Twitch stream, man. People will just ask you, what do you think about this person? What do you think about that person all day long, it seems like. What do you think about Tony G?
He's running for president, isn't he?
Is he? I know he's he's some sort of politician in his home country, but
yeah, I think so. Yeah, no, I like him actually. He's a good guy. He's a funny guy. He's got decent banter, and he's always been nice, and he's been good to me. And I've never really heard or seen him wrong anyone. Obviously, maybe like me, he was a bit of a character back in the TV when he was just getting on it, and he was probably much more of a bully than I was. I wasn't really a bully. I was maybe more just outrageous, but he was a bit of a bully sometimes to that Surrender Sooner and whoever else it was. But he was just making a show as well. So yeah.
Well, we're gonna take a couple questions from you guys out there, and then we're gonna wrap it up. We've been going here for a little bit of time. So if you guys have any questions on YouTube and on Twitch, this is the time. If you ask about another person, I'm just not going to ask the question, please, because you keep asking about fucking people, guys. Give me some other questions. Do you have a Viffer story? Everyone shares a good Viffer story on here. Do you have a good Viffer story?
Viffer. Played with him a few times. I played with him in like 2005. I thought he was like the biggest fish ever. I was well young. I was nitty. I'd come to Vegas for like the first time. Played some cash, and he was sitting deep stack playing every pot. I thought he was a total fish, and I always wondered how he won. But yeah, he's does he still play?
I don't know if he plays any live, actually. I'm not sure. I feel like the last person we had on.
a lot of people move from poker to sports. I think he might be in sports though as well. So.
Oh, you mentioned you're betting sports, right? Are you big into sports betting? Do you do that often?
And I'm getting into it a little bit. I mean, I think if you've got a poker mind and you can, if you've got like a good maths mind, you can probably and I'm into sports already, and if you can follow and make decent judgments and stuff, if you work hard at it, you could probably get a small edge there as well. So I'm trying my luck there.
What are you just football, or what sports are you into?
I actually like American football as well, but yeah, English football. Yeah, I've followed the NFL since last year. The Super Bowl was a sick game. That was like major sweats for me.
That was a great game. Who'd you have on that one? The Patriots versus Seahawks.
Yeah, I had the Patriots. Yeah.
Oh, that's sick. That last play, man. I can't even imagine if I had big money on that.
To be honest, I was watching it. My friend, even then, I didn't know much about it, and I was thinking, when they were 1 yard from goal, I was like, "What's the odds, man? What's up the price?" He's like, "We're dead. Yeah." And somehow he got intercepted, and I was like, "Wow!" I just went bananas. You know, it was a sick moment. And Brady's such a legend. I like Mark Wahlberg when he came running onto the pitch. I was just like, "Wow, it's a sick night."
Have you seen the video? I just watched this again for like the 5th time the other day. So they have the NFL put this little highlight show together where a bunch of people are mic'd up on it, and it's like that last half.
I saw it.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, and you can hit one of them. Yeah, one of them sounds. She was talking on the sideline. He was talking some weird shit. I was thinking, fuck, he didn't know he was mic'd up or something. Is it the same thing? Same thing you were talking about?
What did you see? What did he say in it?
I can't remember, but it was like. It's like a big dude, innit? Yeah, and he was talking about some pretty unmanly stuff.
Oh, well, okay. I'm gonna send you a link because you got to see it. Especially if you liked that, you got to see that. It's fucking awesome. Julian Edelman's like, he says he loves everyone in the video. It's great. I'll put a link in the description if anyone wants to see it. It's fucking great. I've watched it 5 times. Like, it's so cool. It's just it's such a cool behind the scenes little look on things. Do you play DFS?
What's that? DraftKings?
I mean, you can't legally play it over there. You need like a whatever play.
It's coming to England, but I don't play it yet. But I think it's coming. I'll start. I'm going to start doing that. Yeah, that's quite big, right? You can win like $1 million. It's like a poker tournament, but an accumulator tournament.
This is the analogy I'm getting from my other poker friends who now do that. The tournaments there, like the Millionaire Maker and stuff, that's for the donks, and then the cash games are for cash game players. So it's like a very similar sort of thing. The big tournaments are for fish, and then a lot of high variance, and the cash games are for the better players.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's huge now out in America, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's massive. It's huge. I mean, the Millionaire Maker, the first one had like 500,000 entries in it. Some people are putting in 1,000 entries for a person, which just seems insane. So it's a lot of like programs, and there's Dream Machine. There's still like the very seat scripts. Like all these things sort of exist in the daily fantasy sports world too. So
you play that as well, or not yet?
They do.
No, do you play it?
Oh no, I just started maybe 4 weeks ago. So I'm super fucking noob. Like I'm still learning about DFS in general. I don't know much about it, but I mean, so many people are having success at it in a short period of time that I imagine it's not something challenging to get into if you focus on it and really do your research.
Yeah.
So
I'll be interested to see if it comes, because they do fantasy football in England, like everyone does it, but it's a shitty one where each person puts in like a little bit. There's maybe one winner who wins $1 million. It's not very big at all, but there's a lot of people who do it in England. If they were to do it properly, it could kick off as well.
Well, if DraftKings puts in the advertisement dollars over there that they put in USA, it's going to be, I'm sure it'll be massive over there too. So who's your favorite football team? American football.
I like Green Bay, and I like, I guess it's a bit of a glory hunter to say. I mean, I like Green Bay and the Patriots, basically. They're the best. So it's kind of stupid, but in English football, I don't support a very good team. I mean, they're an okay team, but like, I'm not a glory hunter at all. I'm not just going to support a team because they're the best. But I like the Patriots, and I like Aaron Rodgers.
The two debatably best quarterbacks currently. Yeah,
I like the 2 best quarterbacks.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
I like the game as well. I like American football. It's a sick game. Like every play's a sweat, which is different to like soccer or whatever. You know, it's only 1 or 2 goals, 3 goals, 4 goals a game in English football, and like, the thing is, unless an attack leads to a goal, you don't get anything for it. But always in American football, there's decent chance you're just edging a bit closer, then you can make a field goal. You know, there's so many different things going on. I like it a lot. I think at this point I prefer it to football.
You just started watching it a year and a half ago?
Yeah, about a year ago. Yeah.
How do you get into that? Like, you're 30 years old, you're like, I'm gonna start watching American football, and you're like, what the fuck? Why have I not watched this all along?
Yeah, literally, it's just the sweat that you get from it is just it's too good, and like because the lines are set well all the time, so you always get you're always in the fourth quarter with like a decent sweat. Obviously, you don't really want to have that sweat; you just want it to be locked already. Mm-hmm. But like, if your bet's behind, there's always a chance. You know, it's just a sick game.
All right, all the guys in the chat want to know what soccer team you support.
Tottenham.
Okay, Tottenham. Are they not GTO? Are they not good?
They're not very GTO. I mean, there's a lot of money behind the club, and they buy a lot of players, but every season they flop. You know, in England, you need to be in the top 4 to get into what they call the Champions League, and they miss it every single season. And every single season, they give me like hope and promise that they might get in the Champions League, and every season they come like 5th or 6th. So it's pretty depressing to be a Tottenham supporter.
People in the chat said, "Fuck no!" No wonder he prefers NFL. Not a glory hunter, spot on. Well, that tells me all I need to know. Yeah, when Steve Nash in the chat, he's very distraught that you're a tot. He's very, he's distraught right now, man.
Why is he Arsenal?
I don't know. No, he seems like he's really sad for you. I think that's your favorite.
Sad for me. Yeah, no, he should be, man. I took my son to the game the other day, and we won 1-0. So that was pretty epic. That was like the best thing the team's done for me in like the last 20 years.
Are you going to an NFL game there? That's going to be on Sunday. M. Foley asks.
I haven't been to the NFL in Wembley, but I'm gonna get tickets soon.
They got a game this Sunday, right?
Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, who the fuck's playing this Sunday? I think it's the Eagles this year or in Jackson. Yeah, the Jets. There you go, the Jets. Okay. Yeah, the Jets are playing Miami Dolphins.
In England, yeah, this Sunday, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. What is it? It's not once a week, though, there, is it? It's like once every few months, maybe, right?
I think it's once a year, isn't it? Once a year?
Once a year, yeah?
Yeah, I think it's once a year.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. It's week 4, Jets, Dolphins, week 7, Bills and Jaguars, and week 8, Lions and Chiefs. So there are 2 games in October and 1 game November 1st. So you got 3 chances. It looks like to
try and get tickets to that, because I've been to basketball games before. Mm-hmm. Not fun, obviously, but I've never been to a baseball game. I hate baseball, but I could see how that'd be a fun day out. And American football probably is similar.
Yeah, especially if you got a son, bring the son there, man. It's like it's a fun time.
Definitely. No, I will definitely get tickets for that.
What's okay, so what's your poker plans? What do you got where are you at coming the rest of the year? Are you gonna grind mixed games, play some live? Like what are you focusing on?
I'm gonna get back on Stars probably this week. Probably on Monday. I'll play I mean, when I say mixed games, the mixed games doesn't run that often, so if that doesn't run, I just play I'll play Deuce to 7 or Omaha High-Low or Raz, or basically any game that I can find, really. Because as I said, the state of poker is kind of shit, you know. If one guy doesn't think they got an edge, it's no post, you know. So the only people that really play me at 8 game are the people that probably are as good as me at 8 games. So now I'll try and play just the games I specialize in, which is probably like 08, Stud 8, and Deuce 7 and Raz. But then again, no one really plays there. So, you know, I'm forced to end up, a lot of the time I'll just be forced to play like Harley at Raz or, you know, just not the greatest spots. So online, you know, it's good when there's Wookoop and Scoop, but it's a little bit dead for the rest of the time. Obviously, I had a bad last week of Wookoop, and that's why I'm being a bit negative towards it now. When I'm on a run and I'm like winning every day, I'm thinking that online's great. Mm-hmm. But I had a bad run at the end of Wooku. So yeah, I play live maybe once or twice a week. Pretty much the same as I've been doing. Just get by, really.
Yeah. Do you have anything else that you're working on outside of poker? Is it just family poker and poker?
Yeah, family poker. Obviously, a little bit of sports, and I put on a lot of weight over the last year or so. So I need to get back in the training. But now it's winter time. It's about to be winter time as well, so it's harder to get the what's the word? Jesus, I must be stunned. The determination to the inspiration. Motivation. That's the one. Fucking hell. Yeah, the motivation to go up and go to the gym every day. But yeah, those are the things I'll be working on. I like the UFC as well.
Oh, what do you? Who's your favorite fighter?
I'm excited for the McGregor fight. I like Rockhold. I like McGregor. I like them all, really. Yeah. Sport.
You kind of just like watching the action and watching it just sort of happen.
Yeah. Also, I think they price it up wrong sometimes as well. It's not like, when you bet football or soccer rather than American football, every bet you do, it just feels a bit like you feel like a dog because they got it all so spot on. But in fighting sports, they might not have it so spot on. Like a lot of the time in UFC, you'll get like a 3-to-1 shot. Like, tomorrow, who's fighting? Gustafsson's fighting Cormier. He's like 3 or 4-to-1, right? And Gustafsson's a sick fighter. He went to the end with Jones. Like, he did better versus Jones than Cormier did for him. So, it seems like a decent price. Maybe there's something there, but it's just a sick sport, and it's fun to bet on as well. Especially fun to bet on knockout, and then he gets a knockout, you just go, wow.
Look, Pete said from High Stakes Base, ask him about his MMA fight with Sorel Mizzi. Did you have an MMA fight with Sorel?
No, he messaged me like, "Oh, would you want to do it?" And about 6 months ago, would you want to do it? Maybe. And I said, yeah, maybe. It's like with a year training, and I'm a bit probably too busy and too lazy to do that. But maybe it would be good motivation to get into good shape. So possibly.
Are you similar to? Are you as tall as? I guess he's like a little bit taller than me. I think he's pretty tall.
He's a lot taller than me, yeah.
Oh, okay, so yeah, because I didn't know he's that tall when I met him. He's a little bit taller than me. I was like, damn, I didn't know Sorrel was that tall. So he's like a big guy to fight.
6'4" or something, yeah. But he would have a good height advantage on me, but no. See what would happen, isn't it?
You've been in a fight or what? You've been in some fights?
Huh?
You've been in some fights?
Not like MMA fights or anything, but yeah, I've done boxing for years, like trained a bit of boxing, quite a lot.
Cool.
And that's how I used to get fit and stuff like that. I would box like a few times a week. So yeah, it wouldn't be that scared to do it versus him. Olivier Biscay put out a thing, a tweet. I saw that he said, I want to get in shape. We'll do it for 100K. And I think I might know someone who's about to take that up, or to ask him if he wants to do it.
Yeah, I loved it. I love Poker World. Anyone want a MMA fight for 100K? Like, it's just fucking weird, man.
It's a little bit cringe though. That's the other thing. Like I said, yeah, we could do it, Sorrel. He's like, yeah, we could make it'd be decent for us. We can make some money from it and that. But it's a bit cringe, isn't it? All that shit and like tweeting and all the poker world. It's all a bit cringe, really.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. It's an interesting world, the poker world. You're gonna be in the poker world for a long time. You're gonna still be in it on the outskirts, potentially even for years to come, or what?
I mean, when I have a bad run, I always think, oh, why am I bothering with this? I could do other stuff. But then I kind of just feel like I know I've got so much knowledge compared to others, and I've still really like my game, etc., etc. So I don't until everyone becomes very, very good at mixed games and stud games and different games. I probably still have to seek my edge doing this.
It's almost like I was thinking.
And also, the other thing is tournaments. Tournaments is like, I don't play tournaments really, but I play on Wook Hoop and Scoop. Well, and sometimes I play them on a Sunday or so. But I'm not a tournament grinder, never have been. But the level in tournament play online, it doesn't go up. Like live, maybe it goes up a bit. Definitely, maybe in these super high rollers, people are playing probably better than I would be playing them. But in an EPT or or Wookoop or Scoop, there's still so much money out there in tournament poker there. World Series events, World Series mixed game events. There's a lot of fucking money there. So there's still, for me, there's still a lot of money in the poker world that I couldn't leave it just yet. So I'll probably going to be here for a while.
I was telling myself this today. I was like, my biggest problem I have in poker is that I can still win at poker. Like if I couldn't win at poker anymore, I would be focusing on other things that are probably, I don't even know the words that I'm going to use to describe that, but like that, it's almost like a thing. Like as you said, you could probably be doing something else, but it's just you have so much knowledge about poker and you can still win at poker. So it's like that's sort of your it's a gift and a curse sort of thing. Like you can't get out of poker because you just make fucking money at poker,
Exactly. That's and every time I'm on a bad run, I always think, oh, maybe I'll take a little break for a while, but I can't really see myself doing too much else. I mean, yeah, if I was to run it up big and get a big roll, maybe I would invest in some big businesses or big properties or something like that. But I would still feel like I've got an edge at poker and I should still, dedicate a bit of time to it and effort because people are still leaving money on the table in certain games and certain casinos and in certain tournaments.
Yeah. Well, you got anything else you want? Anything else you want to say, Luke? Is that about it?
Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. It was a good time. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Send me the link for that thing, even though I think I've seen it. The American football thing. And give me your tips for Sunday as well.
Yeah, well, listen, I have no fucking tips. I'm not a tout like all those other guys. Everyone's a sports betting pro that I know that comes at me with these tips and stuff, but I don't know shit, so I can't. I watch casually. I don't necessarily gamble on it. So.
All right, cool.
Yeah, so Twitter guys, what is your _ Fullflush one _ what the hell is your Twitter for people out there?
It was my full tilt username, which is a fucking site's gone to shit now. So I should change it to LB6121. But it's _ Fullflush1 _
Cool, man.
Or you could just probably type Luke Schwartz into Google and the Twitter will come up. But I don't tweet very much. But I will Twitch one session of Mix by the end of the year. I'll do that.
Cool. We'll be on the lookout for that, guys. We got Monday coming up.
You got to show me how to do it because I'm a total donk with everything.
Yeah, just let me know. I mean, I can tell you're like, make a Google account. I'm like, oh fuck, all right, I'll make a Google account. Jeez, but no, it's easy. I'll whenever you want to do it, just get in touch with me. I'll help you get set up there. It's fairly simple.
All right, cool.
All right, guys. Monday we got coming up. Ben86. Ben Tollerini is gonna be back on the podcast, and we're gonna be talking about his W Coup victory in the 51K and a bunch of other fun stuff. That'll be 3 p.m. Eastern Monday. And that's it, man. Luke, thanks a lot. I'll talk to you soon, man. Get some sleep over there.
Nice one. I'll speak to you soon.
All right, man. Guys on YouTube, guys on Twitch, much love. Thank you for tuning in, guys. And I'll be seeing y'all later. Peace out, guys.